everybody? Welcome back to No Longer a Teenager, the podcast where we share some life advice. Our experiences, our trauma, our hurt turned into positive, good path, life path
and real
advice.
Talk.
Real talk, deep
talk,
getting personal, spreading whatever knowledge we possibly can. And so last time we posted, it was back in November.
Wow.
And
it actually went by really quick.
Time's been flying.
I mean, I turned 20, you turned 20 since then.
That's it. So now the podcast actually makes sense. Because, And then we got an oldie here. So quickly, let's intro the guest one time, you know?
Well, you can't throw middle fingers here, no, right?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay, cool. Then fuck you guys.
We don't have
Fuck you guys.
She said, I drove here, by the way.
We don't have any sponsors. You can do whatever you want. By the way, if anyone's looking to sponsor us, I mean, we're always open.
Honestly. But yeah, this is Nancy. We work with her. She's cool most of the time.
No, she's a cool chick.
She's really funny. The thing I like most about her is she just dances everywhere. I mean, like...
She's a little bit too
Even
hyper.
in front of the clients, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I don't realize it.
You're a little too hyper in the mornings, but I need to... She comes in the other day...
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, relax. It's 8 in the morning.
Bro, she comes in with a Dominican music. It's a club wherever she's going to.
I kid you not. I came to work. I think it was about 10:30, right? And I don't realize at what point my music is so loud. Yo, my music was so loud. Jess opened the window, and then she was like,
oh my god.
I'm like, shit. I'm like, my bad.
That's perfect. I remember one time I pulled up at the same time as you and Nick.
Yeah.
And
but that's early in the morning. That's at like 9.
That's what I'm saying.
No one's even there.
It's at like 9, right?
Yeah.
And I'm blasting music. Like I'm saying.
He's blasting Pop Smoke.
The morning drive to work, I'm blasting Pop Smoke. So I hop out of the car and I look at them and I start like hitting a woo.
Yeah, you gotta do the woo dance.
And I don't realize, but Jess just parked right next to us. So I looked at my
She's
left.
in her car. She's on a call. She's like.
I looked at my left and she's just laughing, you know, and I'm just like, great, this is good. What's up?
First time you met her, like, what's good, you know?
Yeah, it was because it was early on too, but it was a
exactly.
vibe for sure. Another thing, quickly, I want to say thank you again publicly because she made the emotes on my Twitch. So for those of you that are subscribed on Twitch, you can use my emotes.
She showed them to me.
She's the artist.
Yeah.
It's her drawings are actually insane, like straight up.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for the support, really.
If you guys need any like artwork, this is the person to go to.
You guys can holla at me. My what's my IG? I forgot what's my IG.
It's gonna be linked.
Reyes NV.
I
know your IG better than you know your IG. Bro.
He stalks.
I don't even have Instagram. I don't even have Instagram.
It's true.
I deleted Instagram when I fucking know your IG better than you do.
Exactly.
Yo, that's a perfect
Get on my
segue.
level.
What made you delete Instagram?
Yo, I literally so this is what happened, guys. I turned 20, and I was like, now it's time to take life seriously. Like, no more fuck ups, no more bullshit. Like, let's do this, you know?
Yeah.
And I wake up in the morning and I start going to Instagram and I'm like, wow, look at all these people that don't have anything to do with my life. So why do I wake up in the morning and spend 10 minutes scrolling, seeing people that, like I said, I don't have anything against people, but like, it's just like, this doesn't make a difference in my life right now.
Honestly.
Like, you know, it just takes time out of my day that I just started to use for more productive things, which relates back to actually me and you starting 75 Hard, which is amazing.
Yo.
So I started reading. I never thought I'd be a reader. For those of you who know me, like you're like, no, he isn't a reader. Like, I can actually read. Like,
I've been telling you.
I passed level 5 reading.
I can actually read.
He could actually differentiate the words.
Like, I just finished the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. So if you guys don't know that book, it's amazing. It's basically a book that talks about how like anything you want to accomplish in life is going to require 10 times the action and 10 times the thought that you actually need to actually start it. So basically, if you guys don't know Grant Cardone, he's the best. He's a billionaire. He doesn't give a shit about what anybody has to say.
Anything.
He just bought a jet, so I mean, I'm gonna listen to whatever he has to say.
This guy is unfiltered. Good advice.
Yeah. He's 61. He
same
looks
thing,
25. You know.
That's a life goal.
100%.
Yeah. Same thing with like Dave Ramsey. I mean,
I love Dave
I'm
Ramsey.
reading the Total Money Makeover right now. Also another finance book, and I mean the impact that these books have when you actually utilize the advice. A lot of people
100%.
just read. They don't take any notes. I mean, I highlight in my books, and a lot of people hate that. But I mean, I write little notes on the side. I write whatever it may be.
That's the thing, because
You
sometimes-
highlight too, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
highlight
always
a lot.
I
Yeah, I
always
noticed
highlight so much shit, like, and I always try to post it like on my social media, because I realize that a lot of people post things that are not really essential to life, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me just spread at least like some
You find
knowledge.
it ironic? I don't know if this is the same case for you, but at least for me, if I post like a mirror selfie right here on my way to work, like I've posted those a few times
Yeah,
in
I've
the
seen
morning,
those,
just
yeah.
like, hey, like let's get
Time
the
to
day
go to
started,
work,
whatever.
or- yeah.
I'll get like 30 people that snap back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post like something about business, something about I'm streaming, for example. I post whatever, 2 people reply.
Do you understand that, like, people,
Yeah,
but it's
like-
because people today, they don't really give a shit.
Listen.
like,
People today, and like I don't have, again. I'm just saying this because I mean it. Like people are taught to be surface level, man. That's what
That's
it is.
it, yeah.
You're taught to be You're taught to be robotic. You're taught to.
Or the-
Listen. You have to. You're taught. You're told what you're supposed to like.
Yeah.
How you're supposed to feel about it. So it's like even on Impulsive, they're talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the social media takes something, throws it in your face, and says, "Now you have to like this," and now
Yeah.
you don't have to like this. So it's like they're telling you what
With
to
the
do.
whole cancel culture and
Yeah, like the whole cancel
also
culture and
just like the
everything,
right?
fact
Cancel
of
And like
like
even Andy
how
Frisella posted the new posted the new thing that he was talking about. Remember on the new podcast you were talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole cancel
the
culture,
whole
like
cancel-
how toxic
they
the
were
whole thing
saying
can actually become.
on the
It's
new
crazy.
podcast they were saying math is racist.
math
Right.
is racist.
So
I
there's a
didn't
person-
see
there's a
all of it,
person
but
that
I saw
posted
a
a
little bit
video and they're like math is racist and
my
like
God.
it's just a thing now.
Yeah.
Look, aside from that, which is a huge issue, and I do want to get into that, but also there's how impatient people are becoming, like instant gratification,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
instant
for sure.
everything.
Gratification, validation. Do you understand? It's the fact that, like, once, like, let's say we post a picture, like, let's say, like, you're really happy to post a
Refreshing
picture.
the likes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, just as soon as you, like, let's say 10 minutes pass and you don't get, like, at least 10 likes, you're like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
just
yeah.
take it off.
I was-
Yeah.
And
I
it
was-
shouldn't be like that,
I'm
you
glad
know?
you brought that up
Yeah.
because this morning I just started reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which is
Amazing.
a book
Yo,
that you
so
always
I
recommended
really-
to me.
a lot of
And
people
I love,
recommend it.
like, I'm hooked, right? Like, I couldn't even go, like, I completely almost forgot to do my workout this morning just because I kept reading.
It was so. I told
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
I got like over 20 people to buy this book,
Yeah.
and I mean every single one of them has like.
Yeah,
some of
Mark
them have
Manson,
literally
dude, sponsor
run
us.
up-
What the fuck's
like,
happening?
ran up to me to like hug me and be like, "This book changed my life," and I mean that's like it's
Yeah.
so
Or maybe they just
relatable.
wanted to hug you.
But
But
you
anyway,
know-
Well, that's
so
true,
yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, the
Yeah.
book that actually currently that I'm still reading that is changing my life completely is The Laws of Human Nature. Like, I'm not gonna lie
She
to
told me
you,
about that.
it's a book.
It's a psychology book.
It's a psychology book, but at the
Yeah.
same time, is a lot of topics that you can apply to your daily life. You can understand people why are so narcissistic. Like that's how you say it. Like
Narcissistic, yeah.
exactly. Like, and I'm telling you, I never realized at what point we live in a very narcissistic like
Yeah.
society.
But I was just gonna
you know?
say,
Right.
like in the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, like the first chapter, he says when you think about success, right? Like there's ways to think about success, right? When I know that every second of every day I spend thinking about success. That's how I live my life. But like some people, they think about it to a point where it's like the more they think about it, the sadder they get. Because
Oh
they,
my
they,
God.
they start to
overthinking it.
exactly,
Yeah.
and they
And-
think, oh well, if I'm thinking about this, it's because I don't have it right now.
Yeah, it's
So
also
then
the timelines that they start building. At the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
But there's where it goes
Oh,
down
I'm
to
25.
the impatience, you know?
Exactly.
You know,
Once again, people grow up really impatient currently because
But
people
I've had
are
that
so
problem
used to
too.
having shit
Yeah.
now.
I've had that problem too. I used
I
to
feel like
like
we've all had that at some point.
Yeah.
yeah,
Of course.
I used to wake up
Realistically.
like before my 20th birthday and be like, I don't know why I'm not a multimillionaire yet, and I'm like, dude, like relax, like you know, like
Exactly.
you just
Yeah.
like,
It's, but at the same
It-
time, we
you
do
gotta
have
chill.
some sort of pressure, like socially, like especially now.
well, we're
just, like,
social creatures
All the
right?
time.
So that's
Yo,
what-
it's actually really ironic. So today I was reading in the Total Money Makeover, he was talking about how peer pressure is all about having these nice things. It's becoming a norm, right?
Oh
Yeah,
my
exactly.
So it's
God.
like the nice house, the nice cars, is becoming a norm. And even if it's not like a like Jaguars and whatever is one level, but like
Yeah.
I'm saying even references like BMWs and whatever and Mercedes, like having any sort of like luxury, that's becoming something that you're expected of, and that's your status.
yeah.
So the people that are
Oh,
able to
God.
tell themselves that, like, you know what, I don't care what others think, I'll drive my old car until
Yeah,
I'm rich.
Yeah.
It's the way he puts it in the book is there's a difference between the people that look rich and the people that are rich.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
And I think that's the biggest thing. And I mean,
that's the thing. Like I was thinking about this the other day because I was watching. I don't know if you guys have Amazon Prime. If any of you do, you should watch Generation Wealth. It's a sick documentary. It's basically talking about like the lives of kids who grow up with Hollywood parents, quote unquote Hollywood
Yeah.
parents. Basically, what wealthy people think wealth is versus what the average person. So the average person will think, okay, wealth is how much money I have in the bank, whereas the wealthy person says, first of all, it has nothing to do with that. It's what the lifestyle I want to live is, and I use money to get there. So if I look like personally, I would get a haircut every 5 days. Okay, that's how I am. But if I had enough money to do that, that's what I want to get to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I want to live a lifestyle where I drive a Lamborghini, it's not because when I get that Lamborghini, I can buy a Lamborghini. It's because I can buy 80 of them or more than that. So that's the
money
thing.
is the tool. It's not
Money is a tool. So when you, like Grant Cardone always says, when you hold on to money, right? When your money is sitting there in a checking account, it's stealing from you. Your money is stealing from you if you have a big amount in there. Like he's talking about, like, okay, you have like all your net worth in a bank. You know, it's like your money is stealing from you.
Yeah.
So take a majority and invest it. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Because realizing that money is a tool and not the goal.
Exactly.
So a lot of people
and the
think
money
that, like,
you have is someone else's money. Like
But
you were paid
you
that money. So
you understand there's some
you know?
people that actually just live for money. Like they only believe that the world just revolves around
Yeah, and
money. There's a fine
and,
line.
And guess where they go?
Yeah, exactly.
They're stuck there.
But that's the
problem.
thing. They get stuck in there.
I don't know if you heard the Grant Cardone talking about the millionaire next door. He said like,
dude,
you
Dave
saw that,
Ramsey
right?
referenced it also.
Yeah. He's like the millionaire next door. The guy gets $1 million, scared to touch it because he can't bring any money in. He's not. It's not that he has money that makes him scared. It's that it's like, holy shit, now I have something to lose and I don't make enough every year to actually warrant me having this money. So that's the problem, you know.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Sorry, I know you.
I was gonna say in the book he mentioned the same thing in The Millionaire Next Door.
Yeah.
Honestly though, turning 20 when we decided that, you know what, we're gonna look at life in these chapters of like 10-year increments.
Yeah.
So now you relate. But basically throughout our 20s, I mean, this is one of the most essential chapters in our life. I mean, this is when the biggest decisions get made. The mistakes are a little bit more serious. If you mess up, it can take years to rebuild. Also,
and there's gonna be less mistakes too, actually. In a way,
I agree.
There's gonna be less. I think there's gonna be less dumb mistakes and more actual like foundational mistakes.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
There's gonna be less. Like I spent money on something stupid. It's gonna be more like, hey, I invested in this. It didn't really work out, but you know, at least I learned something, right?
Exactly.
And like for me, when I turned 20, like the biggest thing for me was like, I completely let go of all the bullshit that I was doing before.
Yeah.
I was a bullshit person.
For
like
me,
I'm being honest. Like
for me, the biggest difference in my mind was turning laziness into motivation. So whenever like I'm in bed or whenever I'm not in the mood, I would like now especially I get a burst of energy and I'm like, yo, screw that voice. I'm gonna go do whatever I gotta do.
I literally got up this morning and I was so drained from yesterday because I came home really late and then I was like, fuck it, like I'm gonna go.
And I'm telling you, it's just you gotta constantly remind yourself what is your goal. Because the more you remind yourself, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to look like. It's gonna push you to go through it. It's like 100%. This morning, I was not with it. Usually, I wake up like at 8 in. I do my workout and then like I come to work, etc. I was not in the mood to do my workout. I was like, no, can I just stay in bed?
It's that Friday vibe.
You're just
I don't have Fridays. But
you're just not in the mood, you know? And like the thing is that you have to always like I do that. Like I have a picture of this girl that like did she was very, very skinny and then she got the body that she wanted by working out and everything. And I'm telling you, I see her picture and I'm like, this is how I want to be. This is this is the goal, you know, and it actually motivates you to do it.
I don't know if you noticed.
What I really like about what I really like about that is the fact that like you look at where you want to be and that's what you reference every single day.
Another thing that I noticed, especially with 75 Hard, which is really interesting, is right now I think I'm on day 13 right now, and like even like yesterday I was about to do my second workout and I was like, fuck, I'm so fucking tired, and then I was like, I look at the app and I'm like, I'm 13 days in and I don't feel like restarting.
Exactly. You're halfway there. Like, why am I gonna stop?
I was like, I'm not gonna stop.
Oh my god, I just read this just before coming
here.
Like
the number actually does something to me. It's like I'm 13 days in. I'm not going back.
You know, before coming here, I read like on Instagram because I follow millionaire facts or something like that, and then you see just when you said that, it reminded me. Steve Harvey said. If you're going through hell, why are you gonna stop in hell?
Yeah, exactly. Like, keep going.
Exactly. Like keep going. Like why are you staying there?
I've seen him say that before.
It's like I'm telling you, it's such a nice thing to know that like there's some other people that want to motivate other people into getting better in their lives.
Well, that's the thing is because like they always say, like leaders create leaders, right?
Exactly.
If you're a manager in a company, I'll give you an example, and you don't want people to break your fake ceiling. you're a piece of shit. Like, I'm sorry.
Honestly.
It's because you don't want them to succeed. Like, if they're really giving it their all, and you don't want them to succeed, well, that's because you're afraid that they're gonna take your position. But what you don't realize is that you might have somebody who's, you know, let's say really grinding and they really want to make it. That's actually going to help you if you help them. That's what real leaders understand. So real leaders create real leaders. It's not like they just draft people and keep them where they are.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Another thing with doing the challenge, I mean, this is just health in general, but I feel like this challenge really showed that to me. But exercising, I mean, I have never quite, at least not in a long time, I haven't been as in love with it as I am right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Because you learn to accept it and roll with it. That's what happens.
But it
You
gives
just
you
learn
of
to.
energy too. It makes
I've had so much.
feeling-
I've had so much energy recently. It's actually crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
the
your
feeling I
self-esteem
get from
is,
it
like, a
is,
lot better.
I can't even explain it. I mean, just the energy, I start jumping around, you know,
Yeah.
I feel like it moves into every single encounter I have, whether it's at work, whether it's with friends, whether it's whatever. I just have this focus, this energy, this amazing vibe, this aura that really comes from that action.
Now I
The
walk
days-
into work and people are like, "What happened to you? Like,
Exactly,
what
yeah.
changed?
Exactly.
What changed? Yeah."
You know,
100%.
and you don't see at what point it affects your life, and then you just suddenly see it because you're like, oh my god, like before I used to work out, I always used to have like not bad thoughts there, but you're just like, oh shit, I'm going back to work.
I'm really happy you brought that up because I was talking to Ilan about this the other day. I used to literally, guys, I would go to work and like I'd finish my day and I'd be like, okay, it's done. And now I go to work and I go to my second job and I do 2 workouts during the day and like I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Like I literally don't feel it. Another thing that I noticed a lot is like we work in customer service, right? So it's really hard dealing with people sometimes. And the thing is, I noticed, but I noticed myself, like I used to like, okay, a situation would happen and I'd be like, oh, like here we go, like I have to deal with this.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I have to deal with this now. Like I gotta, you know. And then now, like a situation comes in, and I'm like, okay, like let's do it. Like you know.
Yeah.
And it's
It
like,
affects you less than before.
All right, we got another guest, another one of the
surprise,
boys.
surprise.
Surprise.
motherfucker.
Right now we just got on the topic of like when you have to deal with certain customers, right? And I mean, you technically have to deal with certain customers also at your job.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because the other day I was serving this customer, and I give him the bill, and he's like, "Yo, what's this? What's this? Why is it adding $12?"
It's your bill, motherfucker.
Sir, no, sir, it's taxes. You know.
Yeah,
And it's like,
you know.
And then they ask you to take it off.
I was gonna say,
You know,
bro,
can you give me a
you
discount?
know,
I
we're
work-
in Quebec, right?
yeah,
They
yeah,
tax you
I have my
50% of everything.
25% discount right here.
because I used to work there with him, right? And I remember I did a delivery, and the person's like, "Why are there taxes?" And I'm like, "Bro, you ordered food,
Bro, you're
There
in
is
Canada."
tax." Like,
Bro,
what
you're in
do you
Quebec,
mean?
bro. Like,
Wake up.
Like what?
move to Texas if you want to avoid taxes, man. Like, that's where
Honestly.
everybody's going.
Point.
Yo, but what do you call it? In terms of customer service, it's like sometimes it could get so to your head, like it could ruin your day.
It got to my head today for a while, and then I was like,
Yeah.
I remember this, my favorite Tony Robbins quote: "Life happens for you, not to you." So then I was like, okay, this situation happened.
Bars.
How can I?
Bars.
Bars.
I was like, how can I take the situation and improve? You know?
Exactly.
So that's how I roll.
I
with
find that that's like the best mentality to have right now.
100%,
I mean, a lot of it could really get like not even lost in translation, but like just so
I can
much
get
could
lost
be-
in translation.
that too, but I mean
Pretty
like
fast.
when so much is going on and you're just there trying to figure out like how you could get through this day, and I don't know, it's draining, it's pretty brutal. And then now I find at least working out and everything, it really helps clear my mind
Oh, 100%.
to do that. Like
It's also because you like.
You know, speaking of customer service, you know, some people can't give it back, like the actual positive attitude.
Oh, no,
You know,
100%.
like, I don't know if
Oh,
you
for
know.
sure.
You know what? There's some people who just like they surround themselves with negative energy, and that's the only
Yeah.
thing
I
that
was-
they transmit. And it's
I was just gonna
horrible
say
to
I
have
was
them.
I was reading like in the 10x rule, right? He's talking about like surrounding yourself with people, and he says this crazy line like literally changed my life. Like I mean it. He's like average people are forced to eat the leftovers of successful people. And I'm like, dude, that's literally like it's what it
The
is.
thing is, you need middle class people. Like okay, those rich people create, for example, you know, products and stuff for the middle class to buy. If there's no middle class to buy,
Yeah. So the thing
Like,
is, I'm
right.
gonna say one thing.
But like, I wanted to quote 10x also.
Yeah,
this
I'll let you-
in the preface, like right when you open the book, it just tells you, if you what's the actual quote? It's if you think I can't do something,
Yeah, you're either not my friend or very confused.
Oh my god.
But
So it's just
think
about
about it.
realizing who you surround yourself with, because some people, they drain you, like straight
Oh my
up.
God.
But the thing is, there's a lot of people, like, I'll give you an example. You'll see somebody that you, like, haven't seen in a while, and like, you could tell that they haven't advanced at all. Like, they're still stuck at the starting line, you know what I mean?
And then you're like,
and it's like,
you're reminded of the reason why you cut them off.
that's
and
what I'm
you're
saying.
like,
But
that's
then,
the reason why. I'm like,
no, but the thing is, like, even if you blew past them or whatever the case may be, it's like, they're hanging out with those same people with that same fixated mindset.
But also,
Yeah.
Like-
that person could have like no. If the person is like, let's say, lonely, has no friends, doesn't have the person doesn't have anyone else to like support
go
him
to.
or like to
Yeah, no,
actually look up
100%,
to.
100%.
Like I have like you and like other people that are my friends that are like, yeah, I'm doing something in my life, I'm making money and I'm making progress. But like some people might not have that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And
Yeah.
they don't know. They don't have any. For them, like I don't know.
I also,
Sitting
think,
at home
I also
playing-
think that
I
some people
don't-
just don't want to. Like, I know this group
Yeah.
of people, and I mean, they have a whole group, right? But it's their squad from high school, and they're still in high school in their mind.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
yeah, like
You see
it's
people who
been-
continually
it's
that
been,
for like
what,
10 years.
3 years now.
I know. I
Three
think
and a
I
half
know.
years.
Yeah,
I
3
think
and a
I know
half
what you're
years.
talking about.
There's just a whole bunch of people,
Yeah.
bro.
I mean,
I'm
There's
off
a
the
whole
top of my
bunch.
head.
I
Yeah.
just believe, like, in general, like, anybody can do any. If you set your mind to do something, you can do it. Cause like the best example, cause I'm from Dominican Republic, and I have like the best example. There's this salsa singer that basically he lived in the street, had no family, no nothing whatsoever, and he's one of the most streamed salsa singers in Dominican Republic, and he made it. You know, I don't believe
You
that.
made it out the ghetto, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, shit.
You made it out the
No, but
hood.
it's true. Like, I don't believe that there's an excuse for everything. Like,
I'm really glad you brought this
Yeah.
up, and I know I say that a lot, but I'm really this time I'm really actually happy
It's
you
like,
brought
it's
this
like
up.
you know the impulsive parody.
Yeah.
Where, like
The water.
like George all the time, and just to backpedal off what you were saying, all these little like.
No, but
transitions.
seriously, like I was thinking about this the other day. So I'm listening to the 75 Hard podcast,
Backpedal.
right?
How does that even work?
What?
I don't know.
Or
I
just
just
to piggyback off what you said.
Piggyback.
Okay,
just piggyback,
okay.
yeah.
I was like,
So I was like listening to the 75 Hard podcast, right? Or the MFCO podcast, as it's called. So and Andy's talking about like, creating value in yourself, right? So the one where he's talking about like when he lifts up the toilet seat and touches another guy's piss or whatever, this and that. Anyway, but for those of you who listen to it, but yeah, so he starts talking. I don't know if it's that one or another one, but he starts talking about like he's like when you look at your paycheck, okay? He's like the numbers that are on there are exactly what you are creating in terms of value. So if you're somebody who believes that you have a higher value than that, go out there and go create something so that you can get the paycheck with 7 or 8 figures and you can say, this is what I'm worth.
Yeah.
And then I started applying that to work, right? Like I would go into work now and I would, see my like commissions, we work on commission, right? And it's like, okay, whatever I'm paid here, I used to think when I was, before this year, this company's not paying me enough. That's the shitty mindset to be in, Because then you start going down this like rabbit hole of like they're not paying me enough. Then I woke up when I listened to that podcast and I was like, instead of that, I'm like, okay, if I want to make more money, I have to produce more. And ever since then, it's been upward trip.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
taking,
amazing.
taking responsibility of anything. And
That's
I mean,
all it is. Holding yourself
all-
accountable.
Like what you said before, all these excuses that people have. From one perspective, yes, they're valid. An excuse,
Well, yeah, of course.
an excuse is an excuse because it makes sense.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
But if we let excuses dictate our entire life, you're never going to progress
No,
anywhere.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
It's really finding
We make
the
those
point.
excuses because we know we could actually do better. That's
Exactly.
That's exactly it.
Exactly. And I mean,
It's like
just
it's
about-
your bitch voice.
I can do
Exactly.
this.
It's
I
your
can
bitch
do this,
voice.
but
That's the
why
best
would
way to
I
put
do
it.
Yeah,
this?
exactly.
Exactly.
So many
Exactly.
other things I could
exactly,
do.
Exactly.
It's like the same thing as workout. Like, it's like in the beginning, I know like some people were saying, why are you going to work out? Because I've always been like the kind of skinny type, and then they asked me like, why are you working out? Like, were you trying to lose weight?
Who are you
I'm
trying to
like, no.
impress? That's my favorite
Exactly.
one. That's my favorite
Like,
one.
can I
Who are you trying to
impress myself?
Myself, bro.
Every time you make any like move towards a good direction, who are you trying to impress?
Exactly.
Listen, so my dad called me the other day. He's like, listen, at work this happened, micromanaging and all kinds of stuff, right? So then I'm like, listen, Dad. And then I started thinking, life happens for you, not to you. Right? And my dad's a really smart guy, and he's a hard worker. So I thought to myself, I said, look, there's 2 kinds of assholes in this world, right? Asshole number 1, okay, somebody who, you focus on yourself, you surround yourself with bright people who think big and are ready to take big action. you basically brush off of them. You start to read. You start investing in yourself. You start really taking the time to develop who you are. You know, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything, and financially also. And then you make it, right? And then someone's like, man, look at this guy. His house is too big. Look, he drives nice cars and that. And they start to try to tell you who you are. Wait, here we go. They start to try to tell you who you are, okay? And then you start, well, some people, right? They start thinking, oh, fuck, like, you know, this person's not happy. You're not going to please them. You're never going to please them. You know why? Because then you could be asshole number 2. You know who asshole number 2 is? Is the person that basically lives their life trying to please everybody, okay? And ends up pleasing everybody, but not themselves. So which asshole do you want to be? Because you're going to be an asshole either way. That's it.
Right.
Like, no matter what, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
you could invest in yourself or you could try to make other people happy. And that's the way it goes.
Wait, so you're telling generous people are also assholes because they're not
Well,
selfish?
no,
There's
what
a
I'm trying to
difference
say is
between
somebody's
I'm
going
saying
to...
that even if you're generous, you won't please yourself. If you focus on yourself, you won't please others.
That's what I'm saying.
There's really no winning.
So you could be a really good person who does amazing things and people are still going to call you an asshole no matter what. And then you could be somebody who also, you know, fails themselves and then people are still going to call you an asshole no matter what. So which asshole do you want to be?
Whatever you
know?
do, people are still gonna tell you you're an asshole.
100%.
People,
100%.
even if you have like the nicest intentions, people will find one little thing
100%.
just to
Yeah.
call you
that's
out.
why
100%.
that's why I always have a respect for people, even if you guys two people go, you know, separate ways in life, right? You grow together, you grow apart. It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to have anything against anybody. But what I always say is when you have two people who will always remember the good and the bad, I have respect for that.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who only remember the bad. No one ever remembers just the good, right? And they shouldn't, right?
That's it.
But people always focus on the bad. It's like, you know, I say a lot. You get customer reviews. We get customer feedback, right? You'll get a bad review. One in how many clients? Yeah. Like, think about it. How many clients do you serve until you get that bad review under your name?
That's true.
I want to go back to what you just said, like the two types of people you could be, and break it down into just a few different parts. So the first type you said gets inspired by the people around him, and when you're working your way up and whatever, the people you surround yourself with, it's the biggest impact. I mean, there's hundreds of quotes of show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. All these things, right?
Yeah.
So when you're really trying to find your core friend group, a lot of friendships are built over convenience. You know, who
That's what high school is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
I see you every day.
Exactly.
I see you every day. But if I didn't see you every
Exactly.
day, are you actually gonna hit me up?
Exactly.
That's it.
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, everybody does this little like bullshit test, like to their friends of like, you know what, I'm not gonna call. We'll see who calls me.
Exactly.
And I mean, recently, like in this new chapter of life, turning 20. By the way, you just turned 20 also. That's
You
awesome.
did.
Yeah, February 1st, bro.
Beautiful, bro.
We're
There
both
you go.
Aquariuses. That's why.
So
So you guys can swim and shit.
exactly. Sometimes, to what I was saying. So basically, turning 20, I realized like instead of like testing who's gonna call me, whatever, instead of like all these little things, I'm just gonna start evaluating who's really there for me when it counts.
By their actions.
Exactly, and
all
I
it is.
mean, I've been looking into a lot of psychology books and a lot of things like that. So I mean, reading neurolinguistic programming, you learn people's patterns, and that really helped me a lot in life, because I'm starting to realize I could detect these red flags that I've seen before and I used to ignore them.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like, why would I stay friends with somebody that doesn't benefit my life in any way?
But that's the thing is that we've had, the way I see it is like, because I've been on, like, you know, you could be on the side of people who like, you could be a low value individual who becomes a high value individual, you know?
For sure.
And it's like in the past, especially 2 years, let's say from 18 to 20, that's what I've noticed for myself, especially is like, now I start to evaluate, like you said, people on what they provide in my life. So there's a lot of people that like, I provide value, they provide value back. That's how you get somewhere. That's the relationship that has to be
that's the exchange.
formed.
Yeah,
that's the
for
exchange.
sure. Yeah.
If there's somebody that you and you know what, it's to the point now where it's like I don't tolerate shit anymore.
Honestly.
You know, I'll go out of my way for you, man. You tell me this and that, you don't do it, man. You're gone. You're gone.
Honestly.
And like you said, sorry. It's just like
I was gonna quote you as you quote me.
okay, well, I'd say let's quote each other. So I was gonna say like you told me before. You were like, listen, this is how we live our lives now. We're going. Someone wants to be there. Someone doesn't. Don't matter. We're going anyway.
We're going. We're moving.
We're going anyway.
And then
so that's
to
it.
quote
Don't matter.
you know when people are gonna be there for you. And then one of the things you told me that I absolutely loved is you also could tell who won't give a shit when you're not there.
That is
Dude,
so
you could
true.
tell. Alabama.
It's got you. Remember? You
Oh
told me-
shit! Yeah, okay. Like when I first met her, like I think this was like the second week I've ever known her. She posts on Instagram and it's like a love quote or something, but then it ends with. It
I
goes,
said,
It sounds pretty fucked up.
when he says, I want to be more than friends, and then she says, like, oh, you want to be cousins?
And then, so she posts that on her story, right? So I just reply, I'm like, what in the Alabama shit is that? I'm like, bro, what?
What in the deer hunting regiment? What are you talking
What
about?
Tarnation.
I just thought back to the Impulsive podcast with Grant Cardone. Jimbo in Alabama. See, Jimbo, you gotta go.
Yo, honestly.
So what you were saying, you're gonna notice when they're there and when they're not there.
Exactly.
Guys, literally, there are people in your life, I can guarantee you right now, you can drop dead and they won't give a shit.
The
People
thing
that
is-
like, after like 5 minutes,
It's so sad,
even
but
if,
honestly, like...
if they attend the funeral, which is probably just for a snap story or whatever.
Exactly. Yo, free my boy.
Yo, rip my boy. Rest
could,
well, dog.
I could actually relate this to like, let's say a car ride. For example, someone is in your car,
Yeah.
right? I'll take you on a
This is
ride.
so true.
You don't like my ride? Get the fuck out of my car.
Yo, fam.
Yo.
No,
I'm going.
before
I'm
everyone-
going. You want to be
I
there? You
have
don't
a
want to be there?
destination.
I'm going, bro.
Yo, but before everybody has their license and you're the only one, everybody be using you, bro. You got a whip, yo. Let's go for lunch, dog.
Whip?
Yeah.
Do you?
Ding-a-ling-a-ling taxi. What the fuck? You
Yeah.
gotta
Do
go
you
in a taxi.
understand? Everybody
Uber,
used to tell
Uber,
me that
Uber.
I was cheap as fuck.
Bro, you don't.
Bro, I used to tell them no. Like, if you're gonna pay for my gas, okay, I'll give you your ride.
But the
like,
thing is,
oh,
I know
fuck.
people. I never charge for gas. Okay. And
Well, you
I know
should.
people that when I give them
You
food,
fucking shit. It's 1:30. Are you
monetize
kidding me?
everything.
We're gonna
bro.
do a live financial advice.
You should definitely
no, but the thing
monetize.
is, like, I'm a kind person. I'll just drop you off wherever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'll go to that person's car and they'll charge me for gas.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
fucked
they
up.
reverse. Or like I buy food for somebody and like I don't care, and then they buy like they pay for the food and they're like, yeah, you owe me like $2.60.
That's yeah.
Oh,
That's so
that's God.
fucked
That's
up.
fucking annoying, bro.
I order a small drink and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna charge you for this water, even
And
though
then-
it's free.
And then in
Are you gonna
retrospect,
like?
look,
Are you gonna
look,
give me
yo,
e-transfer?
E-transfer, yeah.
E-transfer.
Remember back when
You're talking
back
to a
when
ghost
school,
right now. Bro.
I know,
It's
right?
off camera.
You remember when school was like still open?
What?
But basically, like I remember one time you told me, you're like, yo, the best thing like I know is like, it's not even about asking if you could give somebody a lift. It's just knowing like I don't care to do so. If it's on my way, you don't even have to ask. Hop in, I'll drop you off. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had four friends. They have to go to the metro, and Ilan like came and picked me up. I'm like, oh yeah, come with us. He's gonna drop you off. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
But
yeah.
you guys are all going to the same place.
It's on the way.
It's on the
It's
way.
on the
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
on the
Yeah.
way.
Obviously,
I know I
if
have
it's
to
on,
ask him. 'cause
Exactly.
it's on
if
the
it's
way.
on the
Yeah.
way, it's totally fine.
But the reason why I bring that up is because some people, even when things are convenient, even when things are not like detrimental to them, it's on the way. It's not even a hard task. They're gonna cause a whole problem. It's gonna be a whole excuse. Nah, bro.
And I
don't
know
wanna
these
have people
people.
in the
They're
car.
so lazy. They just want comfort. They're like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
like, come on.
But it's okay, bro, because
If
in
it's
15
not-
years they ain't going anywhere.
They
no
can't
more.
even sacrifice
Doesn't
a
matter,
little bit
bro.
of their comfort for the sake of another person.
Exactly. If it's not convenient for them, they're
They
out.
do not go out of their way.
And
yeah.
and that's the same thing that I've realized with a lot of people that were around me. It was just the fact of like they were using me for whatever it was, whether it's money, whether it's lifestyle status, whatever it may be. I mean, especially like when I was in the whole party phase and everything, I was pretty popular, and a lot of people would use me just to come to these parties or just to meet like certain people or whatever. And it's just shitty to find out. It's shitty to realize.
Yeah.
You know what's the worst part is that sometimes they don't even like acknowledge it. Like they're like, no, that's not true. I didn't use you for all
Yeah,
that.
at least be honest about
It's
it.
like
you know?
exactly, at least like say like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I did this and that.
I know.
But
No,
fuck.
there are so many people that just refuse to accept
Yep.
anything. Right.
Going back to like asshole number 2.
So you're saying
right?
like the opposite.
Yeah,
you're
which
trying
is
to
like
please
what I
everybody.
used to be.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll move my shit for you. And now it's like, no.
But you
man.
understand, you have
No,
to.
That's like
There's a fine line
Yeah.
between being too generous with some people.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
a lot of people like. There's this Spanish expression that you say like you give someone your hand and then they leave
say
with your
it
whole
in
arm.
Spanish.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
it doesn't work
well,
otherwise.
Say
no.
it in
In Hebrew
Spanish.
too.
I want to hear it.
You, all right. Well, alguien te da la mano y se va con el brazo entero.
Oh, that was a
A
dog.
dog dying. Yes.
Whoa, that's dark, bro.
Don't say my dog is dying.
dark.
What the fuck? Hello?
That just
Go
took a turn.
apologize.
He's a little
Go
grandpa.
apologize. He's 84. Go.
I'm sorry, Chico.
Like there needs to be a line where you're like, okay, this is my ground, and I'm not gonna let people walk over me, because a lot of people abuse generosity, abuse niceness.
The thing is, I fall for it a lot. Is that people in the beginning will act nice to you just for their own convenience, because after they'll just text you or call you or let you know. For their own personal gain.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, nice, oh, you want to chill? You want to do that? Oh, I'll buy you food,
Yeah.
And then after a month, it's just like, okay, yeah, can you give me some money?
Yo, oh
can you give me a
God,
lift?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it's true.
What happened to the, hey, let's chill?
Yeah.
You know what they do? Sorry. Sometimes they're gonna text you for something. Oh, by the way, you wanna meet up?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
They text you. This is my favorite. I got a guy texting you like a little while ago. It's hilarious. Like I haven't spoken to this guy in like 5 years.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, bro, what's up? I'm like, yo, what's up? This and that. He's like, yeah, how's everything? And I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know you no more. Like, I mean, I'm not nothing against you. But I don't know. And then you start talking, and they're like. So anyway, this is what I was gonna get to. And I was like, okay. So then they're like talking, and they're like, oh, can you do this for me? And I was like,
it's like a whole
they give you small talk. And
it's a whole build-up.
Just get straight to the point. Come on.
It's that hidden agenda. Like, it's just the most annoying.
It's the intent. It's like
they'll call you to chill. They'll call you to chill, and then they'll ask for a favor. You do it for them, like, oh shit, I have places to be.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But that's why I'm saying you have to. And I mean, I feel like everybody's, or a lot of people have fallen victim to that. But I'm saying there has to be a level where it's like, nah, you know what? I'm standing my ground here. There's no chance I'm gonna do that. Like, I mean, there's some people that are like, yo, you want to chill? And I'm just like, absolutely not. Like, you just waste my time. And it's not even like I'm being harsh. It's just, that's the truth. It's you're gonna come chill. You're gonna want to get food. You're gonna want me to order. You're gonna want me to pay.
Just like
the thing is,
like you're saying, like even people. Sorry, bro. Like even people who like drag things on, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you guys, like, whatever you're talking, let's say you guys chill this and that, and then after it's just like it doesn't lead nowhere, but they're always there because they kind of like linger. Either it's comfort or whatever they need.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it goes back to like, look, I mean, in customer service, you, out of kindness to the customer, you want to get straight to the point. You want to be clear, and you want to, so that they understand firstly, and so that you save your own time and you save their time.
Yeah, of course.
I find in friendships it's a similar thing where if you're straight up with your intention, if you're straight up with how you want to be, I think that makes a world of a difference. Like,
100%.
I wouldn't call somebody just to waste any of our time. If I call, I mean, look, if you're a close friend of mine, I'll call just to see how you're doing, and it's just pure banter. But
would you apply it for like relationship as well?
Of course.
Because I read
in the beginning stages, it depends.
Because like at some point, like I read, I don't know which book that I read, but like at some point it said that you need to play this game with somebody for them to stay hooked on you, and if you're really honest, the people are just gonna lose interest because you're too easy to find out.
I see what you're saying.
I used to believe in that. And now I think it's bullshit. I'll tell you why. Because the right people are gonna stay there no matter what.
That's one thing. But number two, I used to use that strategy, and it does work. 100%, it does work, and it's toxic.
Yeah.
It's very
toxic. Oh yeah, because you guys are just hiding shit from each other, bro.
It's toxic because look, I feel let's say I like you, and I won't say that because I don't want to give you that satisfaction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's like my favorite thing.
And that way you're chasing because you want to hear that from me.
Yeah.
If I compliment you, let's say we go on a date and I'm like, hey, I really like your hair or whatever. It's a compliment you don't hear too often, whatever. You want to hear me say it again, I won't say it again. A girl will stay hooked for like 7 months just to hear another compliment from me, and I won't give it, and it's toxic. So I don't recommend doing that.
I just find it so stupid, dude.
But
I'm the opposite. I don't even know if a girl likes me.
Yeah, this guy can't.
I can't take
I threw a house party, and there's 2 girls flirting with him, and they're best friends, and they're having a competition. And he got both their numbers, and he didn't realize that they were flirting with him, right?
Oh my lord!
And
it's so
basically,
bad.
both of them got mad that he's talking to both of them. But he's like, "What do you mean talking? I said, what's up? How are you? I'm not like flirting with you." And they're,
I sent you a meme.
Yo, honestly, and they're out there like, "Yo, you're cute."
No, they're
like,
they're at the party, right? And they're like, "Yeah, can you get me a drink?"
This was in 2019.
What the fuck? What do I look like? Get yourself a drink. And then they're like. Oh my god, I like that. I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean you like that? I literally just...
He's just being genuine. Like,
what the hell?
Yeah,
Go get your own drink.
What I was going to say is I don't think a person would lose interest if you're too honest. I think a person would lose interest if you're too fast. I think that in relationships, it takes time to build attraction.
Reasonable.
And I feel like if you give somebody the feeling of, you know what, you have me already, before it's mutual.
Yeah.
I find that's where conflict starts because
Okay.
everybody takes different times, but I find you should still be clear.
Bro,
Yeah.
honestly,
So what I mean by that is
agree,
like,
I
look,
agree.
I'll put in more energy the more energy you're putting in.
Yeah.
And I find both of us would be ready, or it would be clear when we both feel a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And you notice the energy that somebody's putting in. If somebody's like faking it, or if somebody's telling you one thing but doing something else, you'll know that they're just full of shit. Like
I agree with the time thing. Like, for example, like you obviously need time to build that attraction, because at first when you see a girl, she's hot or whatever, or like you, I don't know, you like talking to her, it's that initial like wow factor, like, oh my god,
Yeah, of course.
wow, like it's new,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's new.
it's thrilling,
It's thrilling because it's
adrenaline,
fresh.
right?
It's fresh.
And then when you get it,
Yeah, exactly.
and then when
with
you
the
get on with
aftermarket
it,
parts and everything,
exactly.
yeah, of course.
Then when you get on with it, you start noticing,
You know
oh,
what
I don't like what
everyone
she's doing
is.
here.
Okay, so but until what certain extent would it be?
The
would
thing
it be
is,
pushed?
after 3 or 4 months, you see the person's true colors.
that's the actual science
Yeah.
behind it.
It's the
It
honeymoon
takes-
phase,
it-
quote unquote.
No, the
That's what I call
science. Well, the honeymoon phase, I'd say it was probably about a month, but the science of it shows that nobody could fake their personality for more than 3 to 4 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So I find that's when the true colors come out, and that's why a lot of relationships end after those 3 to 4 months, because suddenly people act different.
Yeah.
So I mean, your Prince Charming could turn into an absolute toxic fucking beast, just because he finally got what he wanted or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's kind of disgusting, but a lot of people just switch up, like, to use you for, like, you know, relationship or any type of like relief or whatever. They will go to crazy lengths. They will say crazy shit. I mean, this girl I was with last year, after a few months, she literally told me, she's like, everything I ever told you was just to make you happy. None of it meant anything. I was lying the whole time. And I'm like, bro, like, that, you need an Oscar. Like, that's fucking impressive. No, like, straight up, like, go to LA, get into acting, dude. I will support the fuck out of you. You're gonna be rich. But it also hurt because it's like,
No.
because it's like, what the fuck? But like I'm saying, like, and actually, Satir was telling me that he was shocked by how unaffected I was by it, and I was like, bro, if somebody's willing to go to that length just to get whatever it is out of me, it means I have something to provide.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So-
that's how I never looked at it before though.
Yeah, and I find that perspective is really what makes the difference.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look, after certain breakups, I remember literally crying into a pillow. But as I got older, as I matured, everything
You handle
changed.
things differently.
I,
you know?
as I matured, I just lost all my emotions, my feelings.
Yeah, I started to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
about anything. Yeah.
I don't I believe like in this generation specifically, like we talk about like, I don't have no emotions, fuck love, fuck that shit. But that's not
That's
true.
bullshit.
That's
That's
bullshit.
bullshit.
Like
That's bullshit.
everybody needs like a little bit of like, you know, some love, some sort of gratification, you know. It's just that people today don't seem to be clear with shit anymore. It's like they don't get straight to the point. Like just like what Ilan said, like for the 3 months the girl like was telling him like, oh yeah, like I told you everything that you wanted to hear just so I can get something out of it, you know? People are just not clear
This
anymore.
is gonna.
think-
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Hey,
This
I
is
get
like
it,
such
I get
a
it.
Canadian moment.
I get it, we're Canadian, but just fucking start.
Go ahead, bro.
No, okay, so I think that for a perfect relationship, that's both sides have to go through some fucked up shit. So
What a-
Yeah,
yes.
100%.
so
Yeah.
so when they actually like look at each other like, oh oh shit, that happened to you, it happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, well I'm not gonna do that thing to you because I know how it feels.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
person's gonna do the same thing. I'm
Because
not
you
gonna do
can
that
put
to
yourself
you.
in their
Relatability
shoes.
factor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go through some bad to realize some good. And
Exactly.
what you're saying is everybody's gonna have a heartbreak at some point. Everybody's gonna have their share of experience, and it's about being able to put yourself in their shoes, to put yourself in their perspective. And I find that's a huge difference maker. I mean, a lot of people don't catch the red flags, but sometimes people are genuinely not ready.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's. I was just gonna say that, and that goes for everything. Like, there's a point in your life where like a lot of people will tell you something and be like, yo, like this is bad for you, or you know this and that, and they genuinely care about you, but it's like you're not there yet.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
So you don't know what's going on.
it
like
takes you time to
like
realize
I've been
those
there.
red
Like,
flags.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like after, like for example, after a relationship,
Yeah.
you start to realize, holy shit, she actually said that. That's so fucked up. Or like,
Yeah.
oh, she
Yeah.
did that.
When you're in
Or-
when you're in
or-
it, you don't realize.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or
you don't realize.
another-
You're just blinded.
Another thing that happens to a lot of people is like they try to be somebody they're not, and then like they realize it later.
Yeah.
You know, and you're
I
like,
find that
shit,
happens-
that's not actually
that
who I
happens
am.
so many times. That
But
literally
it
that's the
happens-
story
But
of
it
like.
happens because no. But I'll tell you why it happens. It happens because, and this is like my opinion. It's gonna sound so like people don't like this, but it's like it's what I believe. It's like I believe that if you take the time, and it could be years, like if you self-develop enough, you get your shit straight, you get your money straight, you get your life straight, that person is you're gonna find that person because you're on that level. And one thing I noticed, okay, and this is something that I'm being serious about, ever since I graduated, into being 20, like I'm serious, and graduated, yeah, it's been a while. Ever since I graduated, and I have my own place, I get my shit together. The people that I have now in my life are the people who care, because the other ones tend to float away because they're not like on that level. You know what I mean? Like you blow past people. So in my opinion is like, if you're somebody who you got your shit, you focus on yourself and you make sure that you're being self-aware, you're being the best you can be, you're gonna find that person because that's what you're attracting into your life.
100%.
Right? So another thing that I noticed a lot was when I was not happy as a person, I started trying to be somebody who I wasn't to impress, to fill that
people
void.
pleaser.
I
At the
started
same time,
seeing like you and like Dexter and like a lot of other friends like actually like for example getting to stocks, like making money, like actually doing stuff. And like today I booked an appointment just to get my TFSA, just to do something, right? Yeah. And then I downloaded Wealthsimple.
Yes, sir.
I tried.
Yes, sir.
I talked.
Wealthsimple sponsor us anyway. Go ahead.
I talked about with my friends and my dad about cryptocurrency.
Yes.
So like I'm starting to actually
to look into it.
Like
for sure.
I want like more. Like
yeah,
I want
of course,
money.
and you deserve more, bro.
That's
what it is.
The thing.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have done it if it was another friend group. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
It's about what you, like who you're around inspires you, and it kind of returns.
Like you were saying before, going back to like you're not there yet. Like those people will bring you there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
why I know the people I have now are valuable.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll tell you exactly what you need in life. You need people who are better than you, so you're gonna
100%
want to achieve like
Yeah.
where they are.
I know a lot of friends who are in competition with me because they think like, that's not how you're supposed to.
Fuck that, bro.
Wow,
that.
You're doing well and you're trying to help me. I want to be like you.
Yeah, of course. And like another thing that I'm really happy you said that, UV, again I'm saying it, is because like you said, I was listening to the MFCO podcast, right? And Andy's talking about, it's lonely at the top. He's like, dude, it's not lonely. You're gonna find people who are higher than you, and you're gonna befriend them. It's an upward.
There's both parts, because you're gonna miss out on a lot of people, but you're also
gonna gain a lot of people, and then you have the people ask for handouts. Man, that's what it is.
That's what it is, dude. There's the quote of it's lonely at the top. That's why Bugatti has 2 seats and a bus has 50.
Yeah.
Like it's really. About,
I don't know if you saw Lamborghini doesn't advertise because their buyers.
I remember. I think I saw it last week. On top of that, someone said it.
But
I've seen that before.
To cut you all off.
I swear I've seen that.
Okay, Mike.
Essentially, we have like a minute left before the camera runs out, so I just want to recap quickly. In this podcast, we spoke about fitness. We spoke about how good all the benefits, everything. We got into we spoke about relationships, finance, every aspect. And I find when you turn 20 or when you're about to kind of get out of that teenager phase, there's a lot that really starts changing. And I find that we have to realize as early as we can that you have to treat this, kind of take responsibility, put things into your own hands.
Can't crash a plane twice.
Yeah, that's
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Take ownership, take responsibility, stop making excuses for whatever it may be, and really 100%. Take matters into your own hands.
And guys, for the love of God, focus on the people who give back to you.
Yes.
That's please just do me that favor and subscribe and like the video and share it.
Absolutely.
At the same time.
Show a lot of love.
If you guys are listening on any streaming platforms, then please just download the podcast, share it wherever you would like. That would really help out. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And shout out to everybody. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.
Peace.